Hello. All right, everybody. I think we're going to get started. My name's John Perry. I'm one of the board members here at Congregation Ner Tamid, and I'm honored to give the announcements tonight. So, as you know, Rabbi Axelrod is back from Israel, and after services, we hope you'll all join us in the social hall where he'll lead us in a discussion about his trip and show us a video. The Mensch Club will host its Super Bowl on Saturday, February 10th at the Temple from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Buy containers of soup and help the Mensch Club raise money for temple events and initiatives. On Sunday, February 11th, Pamela Henderson's Starbucks Cafe class takes place in the multipurpose room from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. She will talk about Amran, Yocheved, Aaron, Miriam, and Moses. CNT's Senior Schmoozers will present an Oscar-themed Hello Hollywood luncheon on Monday, February 12th at 12 o'clock noon in the social hall. Dress to impress to win a Best Dressed prize. You can register for that on our website or the calendar. And you don't want to miss the special 50th anniversary blast from the past Shabbat next Friday, February 16th at 7 o'clock. There will be a special pre-neg experience that starts at 6 p.m. where you'll enjoy food, video games, and music from the 70s. All right. There will also be a bounce house, so come dressed in your 1970s fashion or wear one of our 50th anniversary limited edition t-shirts. You can order those from the website. CNT's Film Chavura will present a screening of the 1947 American drama Gentleman's Agreement on Tuesday, February 20th at 6 p.m. You can RSVP on the website and calendar. And save the date for 50 years of Cantors. Cantor Hutchings will lead a concert dedicated to Israel with love on Saturday, March 2nd at the Temple at 7 p.m. Cantor will be joined by CNT Cancer's Billy Diep and Becky Mann and Bella Feldman. And save the date for our Justice Michael A. Cherry Tikkun Alum Community Service Award Champagne Brunch on Sunday, April 21st at the Temple. This is going to be at 10:30 in the morning. We're going to honor Drs. Florence and Gard Jameson and Dr. Lauren and Commissioner Michael Naft. AA meetings are taking place in CNT's conference room every Wednesday from 12 o'clock noon to 1 o'clock. With that, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. That Shir is by Cantor Becky Mann. She will be joining us on the weekend of March 1st as our artist in residence. And as she likes to put it, that's one of her classic hits. So we've known her now long enough that she has classic hits, and she has lots of new music that she's going to be introducing to us at that service. So something for us to all look forward to. All right, well, we are going to bring in Shabbat with the candles, kindling the Shabbat lights. We are going to have Aaliyah and Peyton leading the candle blessings. Tonight, our service will be led by our 6th and 7th grade. And is Cheryl Miller here? No. Okay, well then you, and Kaylin. All right, great. So you guys are gonna come on up. Come on up to light those Shabbat candles. We continue on page 138. We invite all of our 6th and 7th grade up as we welcome in the Shabbat bride. Page 138, 139.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrot kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat mekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat mekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat mekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'lithilah. Hey, ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat mekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat mekabela. We rise to greet the Shabbat bride, verse 9. Bo'ir v'shalom ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובסהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה היי יאללה לה לה לך ג'ודי יאללה לה לה לקראת קלה יאללה לה לה פני שבת ניקח ולה יאללה לה לה לך ג'ודי יאללה לה לה לקראת קלה יאללה לה לה פני שבת ניקח ולה We remain standing for our Barachu, which will be led by Ariel, Zane, Keaton, and Meyer. So we have Davi, Josie, Layla, and Jackson leading us in Shema. Please remain standing.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Yevon Malechuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Okay, you guys are going to do Be'ahafta too. Oh, no. You're not. Rory, Ariel, Katie, and Joseph.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol avaka u'b'kol nafshecha u've'hom me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher Anohi Litzavecha Hayom Alavalecha V'di Data Levanecha V'di Barta Bam B'shivtecha V'decha Uvletecha V'derech Uvshoch Beho Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Al Yadecha V'chayu Letotafot Beinenecha Uchtavtam Al Mezuzot Petecha Uvisharecha Leman Tiskeru Vasitem Et Kol Mitzvotai V'yetem Kedoshim Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzei Tzietem Meretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Umalchuto beratzon kibelu alehem Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael echanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam. We invite up our whole school to lead a conga line for Mi Chamocha. Yeah. And some of you get the microphone. All right, let's hit it. Addison. You can join them too. Yeah, let's go. I know. All right, don't get seated. Don't get seated. Come on up. Come on up.
Huh? Oh, it's on me.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם לדורותם בריתולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נחש שבת ויהי נחש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Last time, let me hear you. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. You look like statues. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
All right. Are you feel warmed up for Shabbat now? Good. Okay, Amida, Sophia, Delaney, Kaylin, Josie, and Jackson, join me on the bima. Thank you. We rise on page 164.
Adonai Satai Tifta Adonai Satai Tifta Ufiagi Tehilatecha Ufiagi Tehilatecha Adonai Satai Tifta Adonai Satai Tifta אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, הקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue in silent prayer through page 170, 170 through 180, 181, using the words on the right or the left side of the page or the words within your heart. When you have completed your prayers, please be seated. If you're watching us on the live stream tonight, Shabbat Shalom, we invite you at this time to submit the names of those who are in need of healing prayers into our chat at this time. The names submitted to our office this week for healing prayers: Maria Herman, Robbie Schwitzer, Mitch Cohen, Susie Cerno, Barbara Bernstein, Logan Knapp and family, Jack Chernikoff, Sandy Block, Evelyn Block, Elaine Block, Sandy Mintz, Evan Harpold, Shoshana Ham, Lori Fletcher, Kim Botwin, and our family and friends in Israel. If there are names of those you are thinking of for Misha Berach prayers, please rise and say those names at this time. We join together for our Misha Berach prayer. If you feel comfortable, you can rise and put your arm around the person next to you.
Kurt Plotkin, Teresa Yeoman, Carol Cranston Roberts, Roberta Cohn, Vincent Rodriguez, Kim Rodriguez, Marilyn Brown. Imagine there's a heaven. It's easy if you try. Beauty all around us. Surround us, Adonai. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no cancer. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to plague or harm us, and no addictions too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a prayer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will heal as one. Misheberach Avoteinu, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Refuah Shlema min Hashamayim, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Hashtaba Agala, Ubizman Kariv and Omar Amen. You may say I'm a prayer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will heal as one. I'm so glad you're coming up for my birthday blessing.
Well, good Shabbos, everyone. And in case I forgot that it was the cantor's birthday, she made a big sign for me. So February 13th, is it?
Yeah, but
All right.
I just realized.
So anyone else who has a birthday, come on up if you're a February birthday. All right. Well, I've been told tonight for birthday Shabbat, our time is a little bit limited. So I don't have time to go and talk to you all about what day your birthday is. But we all know that it is the month of February. We're going to put Cantor right there in the middle because she is in the middle of February on the 13th. But what I want to do is just go to each one of you. If you have a birthday wish real quick, world peace, everyone get along, love, something like that. And if you don't have a birthday wish, just say pass. All right?
Bring them home.
I'm on the spot, Rabbi.
Peace.
Peace. No fighting.
Love and friendship, and keep the ones near to you dear to your heart.
Bring home the people in Israel.
Be nice.
Bring them home and truthful media.
Rabbonu Shalom, Master of the universe, as we gather here tonight, we ask God's blessings upon all those whose birthdays are this month. As you are surrounded by the love of this community, let that be a lesson that you are cherished and loved, and that as you were born and made your way through life, you have picked up many values, and the value of being Jewish and being part of a community is one of them. May this be your constant companion, not only tonight, but throughout your life, knowing that there are people who feel blessed because you, indeed, are in their lives as well. As you bow your heads, I say these words of the priestly benediction to ask God's grace upon you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May Lord God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May Lord God cause the light of his countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May Lord God grant you long life, happiness, and peace. Amen. Mazel tov.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Mazel Tov. I sucked the microphone in your face like I do the 6th and 7th graders who gave me the same look.
So stop sticking the microphone in our faces.
I mean, I thought you should sing it to me.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu. Woo! All right, there you go. All right, I'm going to be a little serious. Unfortunately, it's a serious subject tonight. I'm going to make my way over to my podium. So tonight is a two-parter. This is the first part, and after services will be the second part. Some of you will choose just to go straight to the oneg for Andrea Harris's delicious treats, and I think there's a birthday cake for a cantor I know. And others will want to go to the far room, in which I'm going to share with you a first-hand account that I filmed in Israel of someone who was there when Hamas came. It's a chilling account, so I'm not showing it on the bima, but I do want those of you who want to see it and hear it to join me, and then we'll follow with a bit of a discussion. So, on January 27th, oh my God, it seems like ages ago, I left for Israel via El Al Airlines. And you know, if I did that, I didn't really have a choice. It's one of the only carriers currently flying to Israel. And as you know, I've been to Israel dozens and dozens of times since the first time I went, I can't believe, 50 years ago when I was 16. And originally when I signed up for this trip, I did so because I thought it was going to be so different than any other trip I went on. It was supposed to be one that was going to visit the technology places in Israel and the cultural places, so that as we plan future tours to Israel, we might choose some of the non-touristy spots. And I thought, well, this is of interest. And the only thing that was true was it was very different than any other trip I took, but not necessarily in a good way. October 7th, the world changed in Israel, just as on 9/11 the world changed in America. Some compare it to 50 years prior, the Yom Kippur War, but more compare it to the War of Independence. Because from the Israeli point of view, and much of what I'm going to share tonight is what I saw, what I felt, but also what the Israelis are feeling right now. For them, this is an existential threat. They really feel that what happened was a threat to the very existence of the state of Israel. On that fateful day, over 1,200 Israelis were murdered, some 240 were kidnapped and taken into Gaza. But something else happened. Much of what keeps Israel safe is deterrence. October 7th demonstrated that Israel was vulnerable and, yes, even weak in ways that no one could have anticipated or imagined. Over the past few weeks, it has been revealed that there were warning signs that were ignored, that defenses protecting the kibbutzim in the south were woefully inadequate, and Israel was terribly distracted by internal divisions, which Hamas took advantage of. Triggered in part by the rapprochement between Israel and Saudi Arabia, Hamas wanted to remind the world that they were a player and that the Palestinian cause could not be ignored. Since October 7th, Israel has been fighting a war on many fronts. Gaza is the most visible war, but there is a war with Lebanon, where they face Hezbollah, which has 150,000 rockets pointed at Israel. 150,000. Hamas is nothing compared to the threat of Lebanon. And then we have the Houthis in Yemen, who have disrupted travel in the Red Sea and impacted the citizens of Eilat in the far south of Israel, as well as world trade. So the population centers to the north in Israel and the south of Israel have been relocated to the central part of Israel. America has been working with Qatar, Egypt, and other partners to try and move Israel to a ceasefire, and Israel has been resistant to this idea unless there is a return of the hostages and the elimination of Hamas and the demilitarization of Gaza. This, my friends, is the political backdrop in which I made my way to Israel. Now, let me tell you a bit about what I saw and what I felt. Arriving in Tel Aviv at Ben Gurion Airport, I had not seen the airport as empty since the time of COVID. Few airlines were coming to Israel. It's an active war zone. Few Israelis were traveling outside the country. And what caught my attention immediately were the pictures of hostages, much like we see here in our synagogue, that were everywhere, all over the airport. As soon as you enter Israel, the visual is, bring them home now. Taking my taxi to the hotel in Tel Aviv, interestingly enough, this was not like COVID. There was traffic and the sights were the sounds of a busy city. Unlike COVID, the streets were not empty. I could see through the car window kids playing in the street, soccer practice going on, people walking their dogs, and businesses open. Life continued seemingly like normal in abnormal times. The mission of my trip, which was sponsored by the Central Conference of American Rabbis, the CCAR, was to provide solidarity to the Israelis during this difficult time. And I can tell you, I must have met with over 30 people, and every one of them thanked our group profusely for being there. Believe it or not, this is the time to visit Israel. This is the time to go. This is the time to say, we see you, we feel you, and we stand with you. The second was to bear witness to what Israel was going through. And the third was to bring financial assistance. Thanks to this generous congregation, I was able to bring thousands of dollars to charities in Israel. The first charity is going to be to help Omri Blitz unit. Omri grew up in our congregation. He is the son of Ayelet, and he's now 27, serving in the reserves, and he spent a great deal of time. Thankfully, he is safe in Gaza itself. And his unit is in need of a lot of different things, and so a lot of the money is going to him. Another charity is going to be to support Yozma, which is our sister congregation in Modi'in, and the last charity I'll get to in a moment. Now, the organizers of this trip went to great detail to expose us to many different viewpoints. We like to think in America that Israel has one viewpoint, but believe it or not, Israel is a democracy. The peace movement is not dead. It's still alive. The people who want Gaza flattened are alive. The people who despise Netanyahu, where his rating now is at 10%, are there, even as they are united together to fight this war. More about this in a moment. So, meeting with this diversity of people, and we can only touch upon a few of them. The first occurred after this 20-hour trip, and we introduced ourselves, all the rabbis, and then they brought out our first speaker. Now, this is after 20 hours of travel, mind you. We met up with Rabbi Gilad Kariv. He is a native-born Israeli Reform rabbi who is part of the Knesset. And he had a lot to say. He gave a very frank view as to why so many Israelis don't have the bandwidth to empathize with the plight of the civilians in Gaza. At the same time, they are just processing their own trauma. And make no mistake about it, this is a nation in severe trauma. Everybody knows somebody who has been either taken hostage or killed or has a son or daughter in the war. It is difficult times. So I wondered about how Israelis process what's going on in Gaza and the loss of civilian life. Here we feel that tug due to the images that we see on television with so many civilian deaths. Even if we support the war effort, we're human beings and our hearts go out. And so I asked him, and he gave a very blunt answer. He said, Israelis do not, for the most part, watch CNN or Fox or the BBC. They watch their own news channels, which, like ours, span the gamut of political views, but they do not show images from Gaza at all. Now, don't get me wrong. I blame Hamas for every death and injury. I believe that they are willing to fight to the last innocent Palestinian to advance their objective of blaming Israel for their suffering. But even though 40% of the deaths in Gaza are estimated to be of combatants, that still leaves thousands of innocent Palestinian women and children who have died or been horribly injured. And it's tough. It's a tough, tough war. So Israel faces very tough choices. However, on a plane larger than the bitter conflict with Hamas in Gaza, I don't know how many of you follow Thomas Friedman, but he wrote a column a couple weeks ago that I thought really expressed this so well. He wrote, and I'm paraphrasing, "The region is shaping up to be a battle of alliances. The alliance of resistance includes Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis of Yemen, Russia, and China, and perhaps Turkey. And these countries are against the progress of liberal ideas changing the nature of their societies and will use force to prevent that from happening. Over against that are the nations of resilience, including Israel, the US, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Ukraine, NATO, and the European Union, who seek the spread of freedoms, political, economic, and spiritual. And this harsh lesson that Israel is learning, according to Rabbi Kareev, is that Israel cannot by itself win this battle against this powerful arc of Iranian influence that extends from Tehran to Beirut. Israel simply doesn't have the infrastructure to be victorious on that scale. And so it is an existential time in Israel, a lot of soul searching. The next morning, we went to Kikar HaChatufim, Hostage Square. There's a beautiful art museum in Tel Aviv. And organically, on October 8th, all of a sudden, the community of Israel just went there on their own, and artists started leaving things there and creating things, and it's just grown. I expected, a one-dimensional wall of protest with pictures of the more than 130 remaining hostages. I expected a huge banner with the slogan, "We won't stop until all are returned home," but it was incredibly much more elaborate and heartfelt than that. The displays supporting the hostages at Hostage Plaza were so thoughtful, so multi-layered, so bold, and yet so subtle it was impossible not to be moved. For weeks, I've had this chain, or the dog tag, around my neck, as many of you have as well. And that sentiment that I hold dear to my heart was on display. There's a public piano that anyone can play with "You Are Not Alone" in three-dimensional letters. There is the famous tableau of a set table with empty chairs, recently divided now by color and dish style into two halves. The plates of those who have been freed, each serving dish emblazoned with the phrase, "It's so good you came home." The other length of the table has plates filled with food just sitting there, forlorn, not to be eaten, symbolizing those who have been brutally taken by Hamas. There is a simulated tunnel to walk through so that you could feel what the hostages are going through. Replete with lights and the sounds of gunfire as you walk through it. It has been personalized by written messages of hundreds of Israelis, covering every surface of the length of the mock tunnel, expressing love and concern for the hostages. These are just some of the installations. There was over 100 of them, and you could spend an hour or two just looking at each one. From Hostage Square, we met with the organization of families of the hostages who have organized themselves, and they continue to lobby the government. They also don't speak with a united voice. The majority of them say, Hamas can wait, do whatever you can, even if it's a ceasefire, to bring home the hostages now. But there are some who say, we understand the cost to save this country. My loved one can wait, destroy Hamas, but please do what you can to bring my loved one home. It tugs at the heart. We made our way up to Haifa, and this was a very interesting place to visit. It's an interfaith center. If you've ever been to Haifa, which is kind of the San Francisco of Israel because of the rolling hills, and it's a port city, and it's usually an example that Israel holds up, where Jews and Palestinians and Muslims and Christians all live together in harmony. It's a remarkable thing. It's remarkable. And we went to the interfaith center called Beit HaGafen. And the theme of Beit HaGafen is safe place. It is meant to be a safe place where people of different religious traditions can come together and share their truths in a safe place. Well, our safe place, I guess the feeling wasn't as safe as it might be. So the Muslim representatives did not come. They did not show, and that was what we called the elephant in the room, because they did not feel safe meeting with 40 rabbis from America. I don't blame them. Perhaps it was intimidating, but the leaders of the organization said, in truth, it's not just was the intimidation, it was their anger. The anger they have as Muslims is that strong. No one said interfaith relations was easy. All that we say is it's necessary. So here's a poem that I wrote. An elephant sat in a room where yesterday voices of peace could be heard. The elephant blocks our view, and we can no longer see each other. Hungry, the elephant's stomach growls, and that is all we can hear. Maybe tomorrow its stomach will be full, and it will go away, and we will be able to see each other again, and there will be room for the other. Parentheses, do you know how to feed an elephant? Close parentheses. We were thrust emotionally in a different direction when we visited Shamir Hospital. This was a remarkable experience because there is a doctor there who is leading the world in treating PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. They have discovered that PTSD is not just a psychological damage to the psyche, but it is actually damage to the physical tissue of the brain. They have taken MRIs of people who suffer from PTSD. And what they have done is they've taken a hyperbolic chamber. You know how it is when you scuba dive and you get the bends and they put you in those chambers? They put the PTSD folks in these chambers and they change the atmosphere from 1 to 2, and then you remove your mask and your body thinks that you are literally asphyxiating, and it responds by creating stem cells and antibodies and other things that go right to the brain, and it starts to heal the brain immediately. And they do this with people who have had trauma even from the Yom Kippur War 50 years ago. And the results are amazing, amazing. Over the course of the next few days, we would meet with families who would directly experience the horrors of Hamas attack. And one such eyewitness, as I mentioned, I recorded, and we're going to watch it after services. One thing, though, that really got me was the hotels. I've been to a lot of Israeli hotels, but this time it was different. Imagine if in the hotels you would see children younger than what we have tonight, running up and down the lobbies, dogs barking, families playing, Scrabble, everywhere. This was their home. Every hotel we went to were internally displaced Israelis, either from the north or the south. And they had been there for 4 months. 4 months. You may say, well, they were in a hotel. Well, say you're a family of 6 or 8 in one hotel room. Good luck to that. Your kids got to go to school. Good luck with that. You have to go to work. Good luck with that. It's been a long time, and they're trying to keep their spirits up. Well, it was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. But one thing was missing from my tour, which thankfully I was able to rectify. And Leslie, we're just about ready. And that was to actually go down south to see the kibbutzim that were affected, the buildings that were burnt, and the festival and what it's become, which is now a shrine. So, if you will, this is about a 5-minute video, and Omri, who I mentioned to you, He rented a car, drove me 2 hours south, and he used his magic to get past the security guards. And you'll see what I saw and feel what I felt. It's a strong video in case, just to prepare you. So Leslie, go ahead. So where are we now?
אין שוקדה.
We're in Shokeda.
מה קורה? מה נשמע? בסדר גמור.
So what is this area?
So this is actually where I was stationed.
This is Omri talking. Yeah.
How's it going? And we're going to stop by the Tachanat Ranun, or the relaxation station. And
What's a relaxation station?
it is a volunteer-based station where they're making food, sandwiches, also do soldiers' laundry, and it's basically a place where soldiers can come on a break to relax a bit.
So we're in Shokeda, in the south, and behind me is the relaxation station. This is a place where volunteers come to help the soldiers. They come from all different parts of the world, and since the war has started, this has become something very significant to help people and help the war effort. Kibbutz Be'eri, with a very vibrant kibbutz where Hamas came. You can see this used to be one, maybe two families who lived here. And even now I can still smell, it smells like there was something that was burning. You might have just heard a boom in the background. I don't know what's going on, but I feel safe. But again, I feel like I'm also standing on holy ground because of what happened on October 7th. It touches me so to be here. So in Kibbutz Be'eri, you can see part of the area that was decimated by Hamas, but not all of the kibbutz was decimated. There's still some that is beautiful, and it's like life is normal. But clearly the population has not all returned. Some have returned, and the people that I've talked to who were involved definitely were traumatized. But hopefully they'll feel comfortable and safe one day, not too far, when they'll be able to return to their normal lives down here. So I'm taking you over here to one of the shelters. And you can notice over here some of the graffiti, the Samach Pei Mizuka. And that was something that the IDF put on the shelter saying it's all clear that it's been checked by the military. So I'm at Nova, which was the site of the festival that on October 7th people came to celebrate with joy and to celebrate peace. And of course Hamas came, and in minutes the world was turned upside down. And what you see here now is a memorial to those who were killed much too soon. You look at the faces of all these young people, early 20s, late teens. Again, the site of Nova Festival, where so much happened. And since that time, we observed a holiday called Tu B'Shvat, which is the planting of the trees. And usually we think of planting trees in Israel with forests. It's a beautiful thing. Here we find that the trees have been planted in memory of those who lost their lives here at the festival. So this is a poster that's at Nova, the place where the festival took place, and photographs of unfinished lives. We will remember you forever with light and joy. Always, always, forever will be in our hearts. I'm grateful to Leslie, who put together my different videos into Omri, well, I commandeered to be my cameraman. But you saw what I saw. It is devastating. But I'm a rabbi, so I can't leave you on a depressing note. One of the people that we met, her son died age 20, and he became a hero. His name was Yanai. But before the war, she had long-term relationships with Palestinians. And you would think she would be a totally broken woman. But this is the letter that she wrote to her Palestinian friends. I don't know how she had the strength. These are terrible days for us all. I'm sitting Shiva for my beloved eldest son, 20-year-old Yanai, a boy with kind eyes who saw every human being, and my heart is shattered into pieces. Within this terrible grief and bereavement, I want to say to you that I see you. I know that these are terrible days for you too, days of fear and dread. I am writing to tell you that I want only good for you, and that I'm worried about you like I'm worried about us all. I wish you could be here with me during the mourning week to cry with me for Yanai, just as I wanted to come and cry with the parents and entire village when Ahmad was killed. Ahmad, like my son, Yanai, was young and beautiful with kind eyes, and I felt the pain of his parents and his entire village when he was taken. So, dear neighbors, I am in pain now, deep pain. But I want to tell you that within this pain, my heart is open to you. I don't blame you for the deeds of Hamas. And I hope this cursed situation will somehow bring our two nations to at last learn how to live together with mutual respect, so that there may be no more parents, Israeli or Palestinian, that must grieve for their sons and daughters. There is no other way. Shabbat Shalom. 586 is our Aleinu. A prayer that talks about how it's on us to change the world. Please, God, let us all work to change the world for the better.
Please rise. If you're joining us on the live stream, please submit the names of those you are saying Kaddish for tonight, whether it is a recent death, you are observing Shloshim or Shana or the Yortzeit of your loved one. Please submit the names now.
Please be seated. And so we say Kaddish for Eddie Mintz, Connie Ternopol, Donna Zale, Hetty Gordon, Harriet Cohen, Stephen Simon, Art Marshall, and Doris Munich. We recall the Yortzeits of Sharon Bergman, David Borochoff, Eric Boloff, Max Cherminsky, Samuel Emmer, William Falvey, Beverly Frankel, Brett, Howard Goldstein, Felicia Gordon, Linda Hoffman, Charlotte Katz, David Klein, Phil Levinson, Adriana Margarita Mendez de Meus, Michael Mehrhoff, Alan Miller, Howard Miller, Gary Naftali, Max Rosenberg, William Rosenthal, Thelma Rosad, William Shandelman, Kathy Shepard, Marilyn Schiffman, Pauline Silas, Burton Slutsky, Abe Supe, Abe Tobiansky, Don Unger, Mel Walton, Richard Waxler. If you'd like to say the name of someone close to you who is not mentioned for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please stand.
Kathy Dodd.
Alicia Perez, Hetty Gordon, Elizabeth Becker, Norris Scott, Gerald Plaza, Joel Berg.
As we think of all these, so many in Israel, that our hearts go out to them, let us all rise. Together, Yit Kadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma, Divrach, Hirute, Viamlich, Malchute, Bachayachon, Vyomechon, Chayed, Achol Beit Yisrael, Magalav, Zman, Kariv, Imru, Amen, Yeheshmei Rabbah, Mevorach, Leolam, Omei, Almaya, Yit Barach, Vish Tabach, Vit Pa'ar, Vit Raman, Vit Naseh, Vit Tadar, Vit Tele, Vit Talal, Shmei, Dekusha, Brichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiram yalma v'yamru amen. Yehi shlom rabba min shamaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Hosei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. So, a couple words of thanks and one reminder. Well, two reminders. One, don't forget, you know that Sunday is the Super Bowl, of course. But what Ner Tamid has is the Super Bowl, S-O-U-P-E-R, and that is going to be tomorrow night. Does anyone from Men's Club know when it starts? 4 p.m. right here. The men are all cooking and making soup. And this is their big fundraiser of the year. So let's make some soupy sales. Ooh. Sorry, couldn't resist. Number two, since this is our 50th anniversary, next Friday, we're celebrating it all year long, by the way. Next Friday, we are going back in time. I mean, I'm going to be wearing a robe. Cantor will be wearing a robe. What were services like in 1974? We have identified the prayer book that we used in 1974, which we will be using. But we're going to have a pre-nag from 6 to 7. They're going to have a DJ of 70s music. They're going to have some games. I think there's Pong and Space Invaders, all that kind of stuff that was popular in the 70s, fondue for food, Jell-O molds. Anyways, please come between 6 and 7. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to have services, and Cantor has researched the music that was Jewish, that was sung during that time period, some of which we still use today. But let's go back in time, shall we? And what was Ner Tamid like in 1974? And as you looked at this service and saw all these kids, let's give them, a little applause. This is the most kids I have seen. I compliment the Cantor on creating this wonderful vision to bring all of our young people together for this service, along with the Shabbatones.
Ooh, Shabbatones. Mike,
And,
David, Ira, Brad,
and-
Jay, Sean, who's one of our sixth graders, but who decided, I don't want to do the prayers, I want to play the piano. And Glory and Eddie, thank you so much.
And we know for Ira, he's got a Shabbatot in training. What happened, Ira, in your family?
We have a granddaughter.
Woo! Mazal tov. So that's
This
a
is not
Shabbatot in training, okay? All right. And again, a happy and healthy birthday to Cantor. I think there's a special cake there.
Thank you.
We are so grateful to have you and all that you have done to make the service special. So please go to the Oneg, enjoy, or continue the conversation on Israel, and we'll watch another video and have another discussion. Hope to see you there.
So I wanna-
Kiddush and Motzi.
Just one second. So I want to give a special thank you also to Alex, who sets up our sound and does an amazing job with that. To Haley, our principal, and our teachers who are here tonight. We have Heather, we have Isaac, I think I saw Benton, Danny and George over there, all of our teachers who came, especially the ones that have to work with the 6th and 7th. We love you so much, but if you have ever had a 6th or 7th grader or have been a 6th or 7th grader, it's a tough time, and so I'm really proud of them for stepping up and leading the prayers with us tonight.
Absolutely.
And the last thing, so this is important. I have been asked to go on a special trip. I leave after Shabbat next week with Hayas and Trua. And Hayas is a humanitarian aid organization that is Jewish-based, but is for anyone in need of humanitarian aid. They work to bring refugees from countries that are in need of asylum. And I am on their executive board, and there is a group of clergy that are in this part of the region going to El Paso and also Ciudad Juarez next week to see the detention centers, to bear witness, and to see what we can do to be a voice so that all of you know what's happening and all of us can do something to help. We can't fix it by ourselves, but we can do our part. And one of the stops that we'll be making is to the Annunciation Center, and there's a list of needs that they need that they're running low on. So if you want to bring any of these things to Sunday school on Sunday, or to Friday night services next week, or to Keaton's bar mitzvah, anytime that you want to see me during the week, I will be traveling with an extra duffel bag of things that they need. So really quickly, shoelaces, traveled size toiletries, underwear, socks, razors, deodorant, conditioner, any kind of feminine products, and drawstring bags. So if you have any of those things, you can also send money with me and I will deliver it to the appropriate places. So if that is something that moves you and you want to do that mitzvah, I would greatly appreciate it.
Mitzvah in action. All right. Little Kiddush and Motzi. Here we
Kiddush
go.
and Motzi. All right,
Sure.
so I think we should have up our teachers. And if there's enough wine cups, then we can have our students too.
I don't know if there is.
Teachers first. It's like they've never had anything to eat or drink in their entire life.
So parents, look what they'll do for a little bit of grape juice, okay? Bribe them at home to clean their rooms.
Baruch atah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We're all going to scoot over to the center and close with O Say Shalom, a prayer for peace. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Achad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shalom, Roma. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Achad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Come on, statues. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Shabbat shalom. Enjoy the oneg. Please meet somebody new that you don't recognize, or say hello to someone you haven't seen in a long time.
Next I will George.